I'm Haley. Welcome to the whole podcast. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the show. Hello, everyone. My name is Haley Korf. I am your vision impaired host for today, and we are very excited to have Miss Vickie here. She is with Blue Springs City Theater. That is quite a mouthful, so I'm going to let Miss Vickie explain a little bit more about that program and what her whole organization does there.
Okay. Blue Springs City Theater is a local community theater organization, nonprofit, all volunteer run in Blue Springs, Missouri. We do a typical theater stuff, but also most recently in the last couple of years, we've been involved with the Penguin Project, which is a theater program for kids with disabilities.
Okay. And how long has the Penguin Project been in existence?
The Penguin Project was founded in 2004
Okay.
in Peoria, Illinois, by a pediatrician and theater lover named Dr. Andy Morgan. He founded it. He works with kids with disabilities, so he started this program, and the kids began thriving. The parents got very excited by it and said, "You need to share this program with others." And 2 years later, the program is in over 50 locations across the country.
Whoa.
Yes.
That is wow. I want to say interesting, but every podcast we laugh about like what word I'm stuck on. So I'm gonna try not to say interesting as much, but it really is to have that many different organizations in. Oh my goodness.
Yes, they have a very detailed and uh, tested and effective program defined, and they do a lot of things to support new programs as they get set up to make sure that the program is run in the way it was intended to be, to give the kids the experience that that is the goal of the program.
Okay, so it has like a blueprint of how
Mhm.
things should work and how to help different individuals with
Mhm.
different disabilities and stuff.
There is some of that type of information, and there is everything from how to set up the program itself. They actually call it the replication handbook, and they send that out. And in every program's first year, Dr. Morgan and possibly other members of the foundation make site visits, come in person, and help get the program off the ground. So it's really well supported and really just well done and well organized.
Okay, so Dr. Morgan goes every new opening and does he attend other shows as well, like here and there?
He does. He
That is
does. He
so
travels everywhere.
cool.
He tries to make it to every performance. I know that can get kind of tough and tight, but
Yeah.
he definitely goes out to every. He was at our opening night last year for our first production.
That is you don't see that kind of support often,
Hmm.
and so it's really nice to hear that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, so let me ask you this then. What got you interested in doing the Penguin Project?
One of our previous board members several years ago, I think it was right around 2017 or 2018, had first heard about the Penguin Project, and we all thought it sounded really great. But also throughout all of my time with Blue Spring City Theater, I've been involved since 2010. I have seen the benefits of theater on people of all abilities, but specifically people that have different abilities being able to be accepted and part of the programming and the benefits that come with that. Confidence, my own child, while she doesn't have a specific disability other than an anxiety disorder, she had extreme shyness, and she's now, as an adult, one of the most assertive people you'll ever meet. And I know that that came a lot from her time on the stage. I've seen individuals with different disabilities. We've had low vision individuals. We've had those with physical disabilities and challenges. Currently, we have kids in our program that are in wheelchairs, that are non-ambulatory, that have altered gaits, or others who are non-speaking, and it's any variety. But they thrive when they get on that stage and they get a chance to be all that they can be and shine. And it's just been an incredible experience all the way along. So when the Penguin Project was first we were first made aware of it, we got excited by it. Things happened, the pandemic came along, we kinda had
Mm.
to shutter for a little while, and then in 2023, I took a group of youth to an AACT, which is the American Association of Community Theaters. They had a conference in Louisville, Kentucky, and we took a group of kids to perform there, which was a lot of fun, but we got to meet Dr. Morgan face to face and talk to him more about the Penguin Project while we were there. And that was when we brought it back and we talked to the board of directors and we said, we want to do this. We're ready to do this. This is the time. And so we started working with some local organizations to kind of build our knowledge base and then applied to become a replication site. And in January 24, we were officially designated as one of their chapters. And then they kicked off helping us plan for our first production, which we aired. It's not aired, it's on stage. But we performed last March and we did Annie Jr. as our first Penguin Project production.
Oh my goodness. And so you said Annie Junior. So do you add Junior to the end of all of the shows, or what is that?
So a junior show is an official it's actually a Broadway show. So it's based off of Annie. It's the same show. Um anyway, a junior show is based off of an actual Broadway show. It's the same music, it's the same script. The difference is it's cut down a little bit. It's cut down to about an hour runtime. So there are maybe parts of it that are not included in the junior show. And if, for example, in Annie, if you've ever seen Annie before, there's a scene with President Roosevelt and all the board members where Annie gets on the table and she dances, and that scene is not in the junior show. President Roosevelt is still in the show, but that particular scene got cut to help reduce it down to an hour. It's more, it's easier for kids in general. It's not just kids with disabilities, but the junior shows are intended primarily for youth actors to help them do a full type of Broadway style musical. And it is, again, it's the same music. We choreograph, we do all the same things that you do in a Broadway style show.
Okay, that is really cool. For one, a lot of thoughts were happening while you were explaining this. And so I'm going to try to reiterate in my verbal conversation what I was thinking. One, I bet it is amazing to see the growth of the children. When you work with people in the disability community, it is one of the best things that you could ever see. Uh,
It's amazing.
it is.
It is.
And it's just like, it could be as quick as a moment. They'll say something that's way different than they would have said a year ago, and it could just make your whole day. So that is quite an accomplishment for what you guys are doing. I'm
It
sure
is.
that is just the best feeling ever.
It is. It's amazing. And we have a lot of our kids that came out last year that are back this year for our production that we're doing now. And just even to see the growth in them from that in that year, there are so many moments. I even had one last week. They were doing a music rehearsal. They were working on the finale and singing together, and it just it's going to do it now. Brings tears to my eyes. Just
Oh.
those moments, I had to actually walk out of the room because I was getting emotional. But they do, and other times, they're kids.
Yeah,
Kids are kids, and it doesn't matter. Sometimes you're just like, oh my gosh, you guys are a lot right now, and then they do that, and then it's all good.
it's worth it.
It's
It's
all worth
worth
it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I those moments don't always happen as often, but it is amazing. I brought up another question. Is there an age range for what different students who can attend
There
or
is a
participate?
recommended age range. The foundation designated the range of 8 to 21 for we call them artists. The actors are actually designated as artists
Oh, okay.
in the
Okay.
program. And those are the kids with disabilities, and it's any kind of disability. There's not really a limitation. Um, so they are the artists, and then for mentors, the recommendation is ages 10 to 21, just to give them that support that they have, and we pair them one on one with their mentors. Um, there's some flexibility there, and and I've said this with I've done youth theater for several years, even before the Penguin Project, and there are kids that are really young but they just have it. They just have that interest, that desire, that willingness and that ability to be able to follow stage direction and do their parts. I can remember one little 5-year-old girl that she followed direction better than some of the teenagers, and I was just like, and to this day, now she's a teenager and she's doing a lot in the theater world. So, everybody's different. Everybody's got their interests, but when it's there, it's there.
Yeah.
Um, there are some limitations with younger ages, just because there's some maturity factors and things. Rehearsals can get overwhelming sometimes, and we have to kind of keep that in mind too.
How long are your rehearsals?
We rehearse for an hour and a half, 3 times a week. So for
Wow.
for a 4-month period.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah. So
That's a second job.
it kind of is.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Mhm. Um, what does the I'm gonna say interview, that's not right. What is the process for like, being chosen?
like an audition process, is that
Yes,
the word?
that's the
Yeah.
word.
Okay. It's a little different than a typical show. In a usual production, auditions happened on the front end. People come out, they audition, they get cast, and then they start rehearsals. Um, in a Penguin Project show, we meet the kids first, we get to know them, we bring them in, everybody's invited, everybody's welcome. We start teaching them things like some of the music and some of the big numbers that everybody pretty much has to learn. We start learning who they are, what their strengths are. We start looking at who might be good pairings for their mentors,
Yeah.
who seems to not, to work well together. If we see somebody who has some personality traits that we think might make great for a specific character, that's one of the things that's considered. And then about 3 weeks in, we do what's called a read rehearsal. And that's essentially an audition. And it's put out to the kids, those that want a speaking part with lines. They can come out and they can do that if they want to do that. Um, and we don't necessarily limit speaking roles to kids that can speak. We actually
Okay.
have 2 young people right now. One uses a communication device, and his lines are programmed into his communication device, and so he's doing that. We have another individual who's also mostly non-speaking, and we're just really working with her to be the character and act the character, and her mentor is helping her with the actual speaking lines. So there's lots of ways to go about it. I've heard of it. We haven't done it in our show just because that hasn't been um, a right for our set of artists. But I've heard of cases where an artist will sign if they do ASL, and their mentor will translate the sign language for the audience.
Okay, that's amazing.
It really is. It's
Yeah.
really cool. They get to be the stars, and that's the important part.
Okay. So, when you're auditioning and do you see nervousness from kiddos?
Sure,
Yeah?
absolutely.
And then you
Yeah.
see them kinda grow out of it?
I mean, to some degree, yes.
Yeah.
And this is one of the roles that a mentor can do. We had a young man last year. It was his first show ever. He actually got cast as Rooster in the show in Annie. And he was very anxious. He was very anxious, and he was able to verbalize that and tell me that. Um, and I just said to him, "Would you feel better if your mentor was right there with you?" And for the most part, they all do. But just knowing that in his case, his mentor was a girl, but that she was right there next to him to be his backup and be right there with him and be his friend, that gave him the confidence to get up there and do it.
Okay, that is very clever. Because really sometimes you just need somebody standing right next to you.
We have another one this year, the same thing. She's been kind of not really singing out. She's got a couple of solo lines and she's got a good voice, but she's just kind of, I think, nervous about it. And we finally said, "Do you want your mentor to sing with you?" And she said, "Yes." So that's what she needs to be able to do that part. So,
So then during the performance, the mentors are on stage with everyone.
yep, they are.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Now, in that specific example, we might not mic the mentor. We might only mic the artist, but the artist will have the mentor singing in their ear. So,
Can I have a mentor for work? Like, I don't know why I haven't thought about this yet. Be like, "Haley, say this now." Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Let me look at some of these questions. And if
Okay.
you want to talk about a question, you shout it out because I am very prone to skipping over things by accident.
Okay,
So,
good to
yeah.
know.
Yeah. So, um, okay, let me look here. Let me look. You're going to see how blind I am. Oh yeah, okay. So what are some of the upcoming performances and how do people get tickets? How do they register or whatever?
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
tell me about that.
Well, our very next performance is our Penguin Project show. It'll be March 19th to the 22nd.
Okay, so
Um,
coming up.
yep, at Blue Springs South High School. That's
Okay.
where we'll be performing it. And it is Frozen Junior. I don't know if I said that yet.
You told me earlier.
Okay, yeah, it's Frozen Junior. And we're very, very excited. A lot of fun going to be with that show. To get tickets for that, you can find the ticket link on our website, which is bluespringscitytheater.org. We do have we use the Give Butter platform for tickets, so we have a link that can be found there. It's also on our Facebook page.
Give
So
butter. That is quite interesting.
yeah, it's a fundraising platform that we use to sell our tickets on. So
Okay. There's just so many
there
and give
are,
butter is it sticks out.
yeah, it does. It's a great name.
It is. It really
But
is. Okay.
but yeah, on our Facebook page, we do have an Instagram page also. We share the postings about the ticket sales on those places and then on our website as well.
Okay. And if you have anything that you want to share in the community, just let us know and we'll share it
Yeah,
out.
absolutely.
Whatever we can do to help
Yeah.
because this is I honestly before this podcast I did not know this existed.
Yeah.
So,
That's not an unusual comment that I've heard, unfortunately.
it needs to be known. It
Yeah,
needs
it
to be
does.
known cuz in the disability community, I think the most common thing that people say is that we just want to feel like everybody else. We just want the
Absolutely.
same information. We just want to be a part of the group.
Yep.
So,
And you asked about the other shows.
yes.
In April, we are doing Cabaret,
Okay.
which is a adult musical, and that will be performing in Green Valley. We have that information on our website as well.
That's pretty far out.
Yeah, well, it's not far from Blue Springs.
Oh, well, I
So,
don't drive, Vickie.
I get that. I get that. So
Okay, okay.
from where we are,
Not too far.
it's only about 10 minutes. But
Okay.
yeah, from here, from the city, yes, it's a little bit further. And then we're doing Freaky Friday in June.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh.
We call it a mixed cast musical. So that's adults and kids.
Okay.
And then we are doing in September, Midsummer Night's Dream. That'll also be in Blue Springs, but it'll be in the park. So it's like a theater in the park
Yeah.
show.
Oh my gosh, that'll be so good.
And then the dates aren't completely set yet, but November, December, we're going to be doing The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. It's an adult play.
Okay. I'm
So we have a
curious.
little bit of everything there.
Yeah.
And then in December, we're kicking off our very first winter break camp, and it's going to be for kids, and it's going to be James and the Giant Peach. So,
Okay. Yes.
and all of those, so we do one penguin show a year, but anybody, disabled or otherwise, is can come out to any of our shows. And that's kind of one of the reasons we got into Penguin Project is we were already including everybody. We just wanted to take it a step further.
Okay.
So,
Let me ask you this. How do you choose what plays you're doing? Or yeah, I'm gonna
well,
stick with that term.
part of it is those shows that are of interest to our community.
Okay.
So we have to have audiences in order to cover the expenses for the shows that we're doing.
Right. All volunteer,
That's
correct?
it. We are an
Yes.
all volunteer organization, so yeah, so we have to pay for show rights and the venue rentals and all of the things.
Okay. That makes
Um,
sense.
but so we look at what show would draw an audience. We look at what is the theme of the show. This year is a lot about inclusion. For It's kind of the pathway that we've taken, inclusion and acceptance. So there's an underlying theme to all of the shows that we're doing. And sometimes we do that. This is also our 40th year as an organization, believe it or
Whoa.
not.
Whoa.
So, yeah, so it's our 40th anniversary. So we this year went from 3 shows in the year to 6, including the camp. So
Yeah.
that was a big celebration for us and a big boost. So we look at those things. We look at ways of keeping our lineup, what's the word? Variable, like not all the same thing.
Right. Okay.
We
Yeah.
want to give some variety to our audiences and to our actors and give them a chance to try different things. We look at, the types of opportunities. So we have stuff for youth only, we have programs for adults only, and we have programs where families can do them together.
Hmm. Um, Earlier before we sat down, you mentioned Starlight, and that brings me to a thought. When I go to Starlight, they sometimes have somebody who can tell me what's going on a little bit with plays and stuff like that. Is that an opportunity that you utilize as well?
I'm sorry, I'm not sure I
That's
understand
fair.
what you
I
mean.
realized that that was a weird question after I said it. Okay, so when I go to different theater shows or movies sometimes, but when I go to Starlight, they will have somebody who will speak to me or whoever has the headphone set, and they'll describe different little things that are not super important, but if you don't see it, you don't understand what's happening when nobody's speaking.
Right, the audio description,
That's the
that's the
word.
word. Okay, yes.
Yes. I love this. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so
We have we
yeah.
not automatically, we already plan for it in our Penguin shows.
Oh my gosh.
We've gotten commitment for our ASL interpreters for
Mhm.
our performance on March 22nd, and I just got my email commitment today from the audio description services person that worked for us last year.
I love that so much.
So
What is the group name of what's the organization that helps you with the
we
audio?
through KU,
Yes.
their services.
Yes, Martha.
Yes, Martha.
I love Martha.
That's who I got the
Yes.
email from today.
Yes.
So,
She's been here before
she
on the podcast.
yeah.
So,
So, yeah,
um,
she's emailed me today, and we are, confirming the date. She's checking for the exact date that she's gonna be present, and then we're gonna announce that. We have done similar things for some of our other shows. To be honest, we haven't done it for every one of them.
mhm.
Excuse me. But those are things we're trying to increase, um, accessibility for.
I love that so much. Oh my gosh. Well, if you need any help, let us know. I make
Absolutely.
no promises, but I promise to try.
Yeah, the year before, actually, when we did Mary Poppins as our, full mixed cast musical,
Yes.
and we actually tried to get, ASL interpretation, and we're not able to get anybody,
Oh,
unfortunately. And
yeah.
we had the School for the Deaf, I think in Jackson County, I can't remember exactly where they're located.
Mm,
They had reached out too, and we were so sorry we weren't able to get it set up,
yeah.
so
There's been quite a few shortages, if I understand correctly. I'm
mhm,
still learning about interpreting services.
yeah, but that's
Um,
taught me I just need to start sooner.
yeah, yeah. No,
So,
I've learned that lesson
yeah,
too. um, so if it's all right with you, let me get my words straight.
okay,
Let's take a quick break and then I'll regroup on questions because we do have some good questions here, but I just had to follow up on the questions right now that we were thinking of.
sure thing.
So, okay, cool. I'm going to get my words together during the break too.
Okay.
So, we'll be back, everyone. Thank you.
Living with a disability can feel isolating, but it doesn't have to. At The Whole Person, peer support groups bring people together who truly understand. The Whole Person provides a variety of peer support groups. Brain injury group, share experiences and navigate life after your injury. Mental health group, connect with others managing anxiety, depression, and other mental health challenges. DIY life skills, build confidence and skills for independence, designed for ages 18 to 24. In addition to these, we offer specific groups for spinal cord injuries, blindness and low vision, and deaf and hard of hearing. Whatever your journey, you're not alone. To find your group and attend our next meeting, please visit thewholeperson.org/peer support or call us at 816-561-0304. Peer support at The Whole Person. Real people, real connection.
Hi, everyone. We are back from our break, and we have about three-ish more questions that we want to hit on because they are just such great questions. So, if it's okay with you, I'm gonna go down the list and focus a little bit better.
Okay.
But if I skip around, you just let me know, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So, I do want to ask this one though. Part of the Penguin Project, what do you want people to walk away from, like, with, after you do your performances? What are you like? I really hope everybody understands the importance of this, or what do you put at the top of your list for that?
I think for me personally, one of the most important things to get out of this is that there's no limitations to what people can do. And disabilities don't necessarily, cause them to not be able to participate fully. We might have to do things a little differently to make it happen, but everybody has the ability to, just have that opportunity on stage and to shine. I think even with kids in general growing up, I kind of feel like you have to keep the bar up high and they're going to reach it. And in this program, I've seen that. And again, we might have to do things in a non-traditional way, but we can provide those supports that help people be able to reach that bar. And it's just really, it's just super cool for all of them. And it just gives them just confidence and that opportunity to be what everybody else is doing and do what everybody else is doing.
Yeah, just feel like
So,
part of the group.
and then I think a second part of that is not just um, seeing that everybody can do it, but also accepting. And it's not just an acceptance that look at what somebody can do. It's we can do this together, and that
Okay.
we can be together, and we are all part of the same community. And we, kids and adults with disabilities can participate and be just as much of a contributor to whatever we're putting together, whether that's on stage, whether that's at work, whether that's just in life in general, that everybody can be a contributing part of a thing, of whatever that thing is.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Like its own little unit, like a village.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so then it builds quite a bit of rapport with everyone who's working in that area because everybody just pitches in and helps out, I imagine.
right, right. And I think that's one of the unique parts about the Penguin Project is the mentoring aspect of it. It does provide our artists with the supports that they need. When I mentioned earlier, friendship, and that's one of the most important parts. But also that just being that person there with them to give them that emotional support. Sometimes it's helping them with mobility. We talked about speech. There's whatever the need is for that artist. We've had artists that are more independent and just need the friendship. It doesn't matter what the need is. The mentors are there for that. But the mentors are learning to work with people that are different than them. And they're learning how they actually contribute back and forth. There are times when I have artists that have to help their mentors get caught up because they had to miss a rehearsal or something, and they learn that they are getting that gift back from their artist as well, and it's just really a cool thing. And it's what's unique about it from other programs. There are lots of theater programs that are welcoming and include everybody, um, but a lot of times, those with disabilities are kind of put in the ensemble. They're not the stars of the show. Not that they're not in it and they're not included. They are, but they are not the ones that are right up front in front, getting that opportunity. And in a Penguin show, all of the roles are cast with people with disabilities. It's the mentors are there for support. And when the mentors are on stage with them, if you observe, they're more in the background. If they're right beside them, they might be kind of upstage of them a little bit into the back so that the audience sees the artist first. If it's a more independent artist, their mentor might be in filling an ensemble role where they're on stage to help them if they need it, but they're not necessarily, right up there with them. Again, it's very individualized to what the needs of each person are.
That is so cool. There's just not enough supports out there like this.
Mhm.
So, okay, let me look at the next question here, okay?
Okay.
Oh yeah. Tell us a favorite success story.
Oh, there are so many.
I bet. And so I'm curious to see which one you come up with.
Okay. I'm thinking about two in particular. One is a young girl, and she has a condition called Prader-Willi syndrome. It's neurodevelopmentally delayed or a neurodevelopmental disability. She has some speech difficulty. She has some energy deficits, so she gets tired. She fatigues fairly easily. So, for example, on that ground, one of the things we do is we always make sure there's a place where she can sit when she's on stage if she needs to take a break.
Okay, okay.
That's one example. When she first came to us last year, she was part of our cast of Annie. She was actually cast in the role of Grace Farrell, which is Daddy Warbucks' like assistant, if you're not familiar with that role. And she's very, very soft spoken normally, and it's a little hard to hear her. And her speech is a little garbly at times, but she works hard. And we got to performance week, and the first night of performance, I think she was nervous. She was so quiet. Even with a microphone, nobody could hear her at
Oh.
all. And so what we ended up doing at intermission, we put the microphone on her mentor and let her mentor help support her in her speech. Every night of the run of the production, she got a little more confident and a little more confident. And by the end, the final performance, she was completely independent with her lines. She was speaking out, she was getting up, she was moving. One of the things that's tradition with the Penguin Project is that we close every rehearsal and every performance with the song Don't Stop Believin' by Journey.
Yes.
And there's choreography that they do with it. And on that final performance, when she got up there, she was out in front of everybody doing the full choreography and just singing out and having fun. And I just brought tears to my eyes, just even in that final week, seeing how far she came. She's back this year. She is playing the king in Frozen, along with some other parts throughout the show.
Yeah.
And her confidence level is she's just way up high
She
compared to
gets
where she
it.
was before. I mean, she still gets quiet at times, but I hear her more clearly, more consistently, and she's getting her lines more independently faster than she did last year. She's just really grown in that 1 year, and just to see that progression, and she gives the best hugs. That's the best part of my night
Oh,
too. So
I love that so
that's
much.
one of the joys.
Yeah.
Um, and then another really great story is one of our oldest mentors from last year. He was 21 when he started, so at the upper edge of our age limits. And unfortunately, first year it can be hard to recruit enough people, and that's what Dr. Morgan had explained to us. That's normal. We were not able to find a mentor of his age, and the next oldest mentor was like 15, and he was feeling really uncomfortable in the beginning. And we were working with him and his mom, and we were talking about how can we help him. And he even made the comment he didn't really want to sing and dance. And I'm like, okay, we can work with that. Excuse me. So I just said, how about why don't you think about we'll have you be President Roosevelt? President Roosevelt doesn't sing and dance. He's just got lines. He comes on stage. And he had a couple small speaking lines too that he took. And we gave him an opportunity to step back from rehearsals until we got closer to showtime and then brought him in later. So he didn't have to feel so out of place with all the younger kids. It was
Yeah.
unfortunate at the time that we weren't able to find him somebody. But when he came back, we had by that time gotten a production assistant. She also was a young person with disability who was closer to his age, and we paired them up. They became friends. They connected really quickly. But during the performances, he was typically, you could find him backstage by himself, not interacting with anybody. And that was really difficult for him had a lot of anxiety about being around people. His mom had shared with us that he, after graduating from high school, really hadn't gone out of the house much, didn't want to go do anything. Again, he has a lot of anxiety about being around people. And so he struggled with that. By the time we got into that run of performances, I started seeing him smiling and laughing. By the third performance, he was back in the green room talking with the adults in the room, which was really
Really?
cool. And then when he got done, he told his mom, I think I can go get a job. And
What?
this past December, he did.
Oh
He
my
got his first
gosh.
job. He's now working. And since then, he also made his first independent trip off on his own. And it's the coolest thing ever. We were hoping for him that he would just have a positive experience. We felt really bad that we weren't able to pair him up with a mentor his age, and that, we just wanted him to have a good time at that point.
Yeah.
We didn't have a lot of hopes for a lot more than that, and he just superseded everything, and it just
Yeah.
was the confidence that it gave him, the ability to be around other people, and it's just really cool, and he's still working. So, I'm really proud of him.
That is so interesting how that works out, though. You know what I mean? Like, oof.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really cool. All right, let me look at this last question here,
Okay.
okay? All right. Um, what is your favorite play that you've done?
That I've done. Okay, that narrows it down a little
Yeah,
bit.
I was like, I need to narrow that down a
Okay.
little because you said you started in 2010
I
before.
started with this theater group in 2010. I started directing around 2017. So,
Oh,
yeah.
so yeah,
Um,
we got to narrow that.
got a couple of them. Oh gosh. You know what? I think it really just relates to my experience with my casts. And so I have a lot of fun shows that we've done. One of the very first one I did is one of my favorites, and it's The Stinky Cheese Man and Other Fairly Stupid Tales. Was
What?
just yes. It's like it's a children's book.
Okay.
It's kind of a fractured fairy tales kind of story.
Okay.
And we just had so much fun with it. It was just a blast. The cast had a good time. The audiences had a good time, and it's a fun story. It's one of my kids' favorite stories, so just really enjoyed that one. I'm also a crier, so I love a good drama. And I think two of them that we've done. One of them was called I Never Saw Another Butterfly," and it was a story about kids in Terezin concentration camp during the Holocaust. And I think one of the things that I really, I mean, the story is beautiful. It's a story of survival and of endurance and amongst these kids. And um, I think one of the greatest benefits was watching the kids involved in the show as they grew and learned from the story. And then I think the one that I mentioned when we went to perform in Kentucky, we did a show called Mockingbird, which was about a girl who was autistic and how she dealt with her world. And she had a grief event that she had to process, and how she dealt with the kids at school. And it was just a really great opportunity for us to all learn what that experience was like. And the kids had that as well. And it just everything we gained from that experience was just really heartwarming. So,
I cannot imagine the feeling that happens after completing such a amazing opportunity.
yeah.
And I bet the kids feel that too.
I hope so. I hope
Yeah.
so. They most of them come back, so that's a good thing, right? I haven't scared them off yet. So,
Well, that works. No, I'm sure they love you and I'm sure that you're great to work with. And I'm so excited to hear about this. I'm gonna maybe see if I can get in on some of this a little bit. So I'll be reaching out.
okay.
But please share stuff with us and we'll get it out in the
Yeah,
community, okay? Because
absolutely. Will do.
yeah, like I said, I hadn't heard of it before. And I like to say I know a lot about the disability world, but every day that I'm here I learn new things. So
Yep. Well,
yeah.
like Penguin Project in Blue Springs is we are the first penguin project in the Kansas City area.
Okay.
There's one in Lawrence that's the next closest. So it's not surprising that you hadn't really heard about it yet. But it's still growing across the country. So,
Yeah. That is so exciting.
mhm.
Okay. Well, is there anything else that you would like to share? Those were all of my questions, and I'm running out of thoughts on what to ask.
I just, every year we will be kicking off our next Penguin Project cycle in the fall, and I just would like to encourage anybody who wants to give it a try. Thinks they might know a kid that might benefit from it, might enjoy it, even if they've never done theater before. That's fine. We have lots of kids that are first timers, and both from the mentor aspect and from the artist aspect. Like if they want to give it a try, just reach out. We'd be happy to answer any questions. We will be holding information meetings in the fall too to give parents a chance to kind of find out more about it.
Okay, and they can reach out via the website and everything?
They can
Okay.
reach out through the website. There is a section on the website about the Penguin Project where they can learn more about it, and even link to the foundation page. I think that link is in there as well. So
Okay. Well, we'll put that up on the screen for everyone, and just let us know, and we'll get it out there.
absolutely,
Oh, this has been great. Thank you so much for sharing.
yeah. Thank you
I
for
love
having me.
this. Yeah, you're welcome anytime with any updates,
Okay,
and just let us know.
all right,
All
sounds
right.
good.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. We will see you on the next episode. Hi, everyone. My name is Haley Korf. I am the vision impaired host for the whole podcast. If you want to like and subscribe, that would be most helpful. We would love it. We just want to get our information out to the community so we can provide support to anyone who needs it. If you want to take a look at our calendar, we do have that on our website. That will show all the peer support groups that we offer. You are more than welcome to give us a call too. We would be more than happy to answer any questions, but it is all listed on the calendar. Take a look at it, enjoy our new website, and thank you so much for tuning in.